Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's Brian and Jim here with Drink a Beer and Play a Game, and welcome to another episode of the Power Hour Podcast.
Yes, hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 266. Thank you for joining us tonight. Speaking of thanks, big shout out once again to Dan from Console Wars, one of our best buddies on this entire goddamn platform, joining us once again, going over the shenanigans from Too Many Games. Always a good time seeing him, always a good time hanging, and having him on the show.
Yeah, no, it was a great time. Thank you, Dan. Always appreciate it. As we talked about, we want to get him back on. We mentioned it in the last episode. We just love, literally testing each other with gaming music. So we're going to do a legit Power Hour with him again. He was technically our first guest Power Hour, right? In terms of, doing the drinking game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Brian, weirdly enough, almost no one wants to do that on a Monday night.
Fucking amateurs. So what's going on, Chambers? How you been? I know I got to see you over the weekend multiple times, and obviously the 4th went well, even though it's been ball-swelteringly hot. So what you been up to, bud?
Busy, fucking busy. Just goddamn busy, seeing people almost every day. I mean, not that it's a bad thing, it's been fun, but exhausted. Every day, some kind of goddamn plan. Even days when we don't have a plan, the plan gets made, and then we do more things, and then exhausted. But it's fun.
Say now. Well, Jim, in all this time, here's a real question. Have you been able to play anything?
No! And I actually think I'm fucking never going to finish goddamn Fallout 4 because the PS5, it's on to Fritz. It's not completely dead yet, but... I've taken apart as much as I can to, clean it out, and it wasn't dirty. If you look up videos of dirty PS5s, mine is not this. It's basically spotless. So, I just guarantee the goddamn heat sink, which the disk drive, launch PS5s are known for having shitty ones. And at the old house, I kept it vertical, which obviously was a mistake, because that's how they get fucked up. And, yeah, mine just has... red lines everywhere at the worst, and at the best, and at worst, it's just audio's cutting out left and right. The screen's just popping and popping. It sounds like it's about to explode. So I'm never finishing the fucking game. 48 hours wasted, so that's wonderful. Even tried playing a little more today after blowing it out again, and oops, 5 minutes in, it just started its shit. So yeah,
Jim, the
wonderful.
smart man would trade that in or sell it now, and then just get a new PS5.
I'm not buying another fucking PS5. Fuck Sony. Fucking shit-ass hardware. I had a PS3 that died. I had a PS5 that died. All the PS1s I've ever known have been, half working and half dead. Fucking horse cock.
Oh, Jim.
I don't care anymore. I don't fucking care. Someone, please, private buyer out there, leave me my mini consoles and just take the rest of this shit off my hands. Please, make me an offer. I will index it.
Jim, don't go down the negative road.
No, fuck. Actually, ever since, I got my 3DS stolen last year, I've just been man, I don't want to deal with this shit anymore. And this is just it's like the straw that broke the camel's back. It's done. Fucking done. I don't care anymore. Now I used the game room enough anyway, just get rid of the fucking shit. I'll make a practice drum room out of it and leave the corner here for gaming. Anyone out there, serious offers, DM me. I'll make a list for you.
Jim. You know your collector soul can't give it up.
Yep, fuck it. Done.
Just like you said you were going to beat Elden Ring. This is another Jimism. This is what we call a hissy fit.
Oh, it's a total hissy fit. 100%. This is Jimmy being on the internet too long and having his stupid moment, but fuck it. Offers. Get this shit out of my house. Done.
Soon he's going to be boxing Boogie and being like, what's going on with my life?
Does it mean I get to have a weird daddy complex with a fucking, with a deranged girl? Because that's not a weird setup. Me and Boogie and Wings and Review Tech USA, all of us, we can all sit around and powwow. We can sit around wearing our Chris Chan fucking medallions.
Fuck, Jim. Damn it. No, stop going to the dark side.
Brian,
Get off the internet.
The dimensional merge is coming. Embrace it now before it's too late.
Well, I'll tell you something I've embraced the shit out of, and it's actually I've gone on a little tear of completing games. I don't even know why I said it like that. Really, I beat Serial Cleaners, which is the game I've been talking about. Uh, really, really enjoy it. It's like Hotline Miami, I think we talked about before.
Yeah.
Just a cool concept. And then I didn't realize when I bought it, it was like in a bundle on Steam. So it came with the first Serial Cleaner game, but that's done in more of a. It's the same style of like you're hiding bodies, but it's done like a 2D kind of comic booky graphical way. So it's very cool. I think you really like the music in it because it's very jazzy, like lo-fi, just like cool, chill background music used throughout the whole entire game. So I think you'd appreciate that. And I guess at the end of the day, a game like that, I guess they're technically puzzle games. That's the best way I could put them. Kind of like they're not really action oriented. It's like you're just stealth and kind of solving patterns and puzzles. So yeah, very chill games. I've been dipping my toe way back into the Total Warhammer and Total War games. But other than that, I set up my Switch in my living room and I started teaching my son and daughter Super Mario Brothers and Super Mario Kart. So I beat Mario Kart 8 because I didn't realize there was like an actual like finishing movie if you just complete all the races at least one time.
Yeah.
So I did that, and now I'm going through and like just getting the stars on all the different tracks. Do you actually unlock any more racers, or is it all like just bikes and like cosmetic shit?
I think for deluxe on Switch, you come with all the content of like originally. Like, there's all the DLC packs that have come out over the couple years, but yeah, I think
But there's
except
no
for
unlocking.
I don't think so. It's been a long time since I played it, but I don't think there is.
Yeah, so I've been doing that. Let me ask you. So you were playing Super Mario Brothers, and I started playing it as well. It begs the question: if somebody uses warp zones and still beats the game, does it count as beating the game?
Yes.
Because, it's funny, the amount of games I think of, I can't put many in that category that have a, like, warp zone, jump ahead, whatever you would call it, that's built into the game like that. Like, I can't think of other examples off the top of my head.
I mean, there's ones out there. Like, I know, like, I'm pretty sure Battletoads has warp areas, and there's other games from back in the day that have warp areas, but I think Mario's are some, like, the most pronounced out there, or, like, the most famous ones.
Yeah. So I'm on a mission to, once again, beat that. I don't know how many times I beat that game, but once again, you forget how hard that game is. Like,
that game's
how
a bitch.
Quickly. Yeah. Like, I always, in my mind, for some reason, I perceive it as like, oh, that's the easy game. And then I'm like, oh, fuck, no. Every time I go back to it, even though I can remember patterns and this and that, doesn't matter. And especially on the Switch, I don't care if you're using the fucking Joy-Cons or the third party that you were using.
The Joy-Cons are better than your third-party controller. That thing's a hunk of shit.
Well, yeah, it's $20. I'm not going to put out $60 for some bullshit Joy-Cons that are already bullshit, Jim. Come on.
Just get a pro controller. Don't be a cuck.
No, Jim, I'm just going to steal yours. Just add it to the things that get stolen off you.
Yeah, I know. Just what I need. Just a matter of time.
So, Chambers, in the midst of your hissy fit, what are you drinking tonight?
Well, the Krusty Corner is back this week, so check the link below in the comments. It'll be over there. So I'm starting with the Coors Light just to get me through that. But the real creme de la creme this week is one that I've introduced you to lately, coming to us from Founders Brewing. It is the Green Zebra, a Go-style ale brewed with watermelon and sea salt, and it is goddamn delicious. Ridiculously smooth. It's a light one, 4.6% alcohol, 10 IBUs. Like, it is just a super, extremely smooth drinker. It pours with a light head that dissipates fast. It's shockingly hazy for what it is, but, I mean, it doesn't drink like a hazy. It doesn't taste like a hazy. It's a tasty summer drink right there.
Nice.
And it's got like it's got like the
when
feeling.
you're over, it's really good. It is really good. I'm happy that the salt isn't pronounced, kind of like in the was it the Dogfish Head that has that like sea salt one? Like some of them just have a little bit too much of a salt flavor. This one is way more just watermelon.
Yeah, what do you call it? A lot of anytime I see sea salt in beer, I'm always like, yeah, because it's either okay or terrible. So this is definitely like probably one of the best like sea salt beers I've ever had. And shockingly, it was in the clearance section. So maybe people also saw like sea salt and went, or maybe just a whole watermelon sea salt combo. Maybe the beer snobs were like, thumbing their nose to it because it's not a tree's asshole, but absolutely delicious. So I went back and I stocked up on a little bit more. The last one they had, because I mean, marked down from like $22 to $11. How can I not?
You're losing money at that point, Jim.
Right, I'd be a sucker not to do it.
Yeah, I am finishing off the Ship Bottom Bomb Pop Sour Ales. I got them for 4th of July. They're sour ale with cherry, lemon, and raspberry. So they're meant to taste like a bomb pop. They kind of do, but there's definitely pretty strong sour. Like when you first take the sip, it's strong, and then you get all that kind of like it feels like a sugary bomb pop. It's 6% and really good. It's very reddish. Like I said, it's almost kind of pinkish, very cloudy, and goes down very smooth. But it's also like oddly, it hits you even after 2. And I usually don't get hit that strong by sours, and 2 of these are more than enough to have you feeling pretty good. So I would highly recommend if you see it in see it anywhere, like definitely try it out. And so far, I'll be honest, I haven't been disappointed by Ship Bottom, and they're a PA brewery, so check them out if you ever see them in your breweries.
Nice. Yeah, I will definitely have to try that.
So Chambers, this week I saw at least 2, if not 3, questions from our awesome patrons. So what do we have this week?
Patreon.com/DrinkABeerandPlayAGame. Where for as little as $2 a month, you can ask a question that we will answer on each and every single one of these Power Hour podcasts. So, load. Now, the real question, Brian.
Yes.
Are you going to edit out this dead air, or will you leave my suffering in there for the joy of everyone?
I mean, I might just have to put music on top of your suffering.
Just do Girl from Ipanema. Just do that. Fuck it. All right, first up from Burned Retinas. Special occasions like weddings and such aside, how many vacation plans do you try to make for the summer?
For the summer, I try to do 2. One is usually a beach trip, and I'll either extend that from anywhere from 4 to 5 days, or I'll split that into 2 different ones, and then the other one is usually with my buddy, going to the lake, go camping, something to that effect. I generally, like, those are 2 kind of guaranteed. I try to actually do more shit during the fall, even winter. Yeah, it's just too fucking hot with summer shit. So I limit it to 2.
Especially this goddamn summer.
Mm-hmm.
But, I always have my week down the shore. And besides that, it's really whatever else randomly comes up. So as of right now, I don't really have anything but my shore trip planned. So hopefully it kind of stays that way, because I don't really feel like leaving the house with all the heat and everything going on right now. It's just not goddamn worth it. Like my grass isn't even growing. I haven't mowed my lawn in a month because it just does not grow because it's just been hot.
Yeah. It's been a crazy ass summer, and I think we are actually kind of lucky compared to a lot of people we know.
Well, compared to you know what? All of our buddies out there in Texas, fucking do what you can. Our heart goes out to you because that is an insane storm that they are dealing with right now. So, we can bitch about our hot days all we want, but we don't have all of our shit fucking flooding away right now in a system that isn't made for it, where we're out of power for like 5 days. So, good luck out there, everybody.
And move.
Yes, Brian. It's very easy to just get up and move.
I mean, just do it. You've done it a few times. Just move.
Yeah, just move. It's easy. It's stress-free. It's fun.
Just lose a 3DS. What's the big deal?
It's great. It's wonderful for relationships. Nothing bad comes from it. Moves are awesome.
Good question, though, bud. And if you are doing something this summer, stay safe, have fun, enjoy it, dude.
Yep. Next up from Todd Howard Sucks. What is your favorite action movie from the 90s?
Ooh, 90s. Ooh. I have a couple. I say one of my biggest guilty pleasures is Fifth Element. Die Hard with a Vengeance. That one I might actually like more than the first one.
Wow, you just had the same billboard. That's why you like it.
Why? What does it say, Jim?
People just need to watch the movie and find out. Uncultured swine.
90s. Demolition Man. I actually just watched that again the other day. That's
God, I love that movie.
Last Action Heroes, damn good. Terminator 2. Was that 90 or 91?
It was 91. Like T2's my answer. I'm just gonna cut.
Yeah, that's like the best sequel of all time, potentially. Fuck yeah, all of them. I don't know. They're all different. T2 is probably the best made, but I said guilty pleasure. I'm gonna throw Fifth Element out there, but I'm trying to think. Yeah, Judge Dredd was good. Shit.
Is Total Recall like 90? Does that barely make it?
Is it 90? I always forget if that's 89 or 90. Let me
it's on the border there.
Oh, it's 90.
Ah, ooh, another contender.
Yeah, fuck. 90s had some banger ass action movies.
Or even the goofy ones like Independence Day or fucking like Volcano.
Yeah, those were some goofy
Right,
ones.
Firestorm with Howie Long. Who can deny that?
You know what? I'll even throw out, I did love me some Bad Boys. I went through a period where I watched it way too many times in a row. Didn't get all the jokes when I first watched it when I was young, but still loved the shit out of it. Shit. I'm trying to think. Like, I feel like there's probably another big one we're both missing as far as like big action.
I mean, everything was also like tied into action. Like Armageddon, like it's a love story, but it's also a big action movie for a lot of it. Pearl Harbor, it's a love story, but it's got a 45-minute fucking war scene at the very end. That's awesome. Titanic, that's goddamn half of it's an action movie basically as the disaster's going on. Or like comedies like Men in Black, like that's got a shitload of action. Just the 90s do that shit and everything. It was a simpler time.
Yeah. Damn. T2 though, your choices. That's like the safe good answer, I would say.
Yeah, it's like a perfect movie. I had like damn near all the toys as a kid. Like that was an obsession, and I still go back to it, and I never get bored. So, goddamn crime what they did to that franchise. Go on.
So I just real quick typed in best action movies in the 90s. Listen to these bangers. You got Twister.
Oh, yes.
Speed.
Yep.
We already mentioned Independence Day. Heat.
No, yeah.
Even though I would still, like you said, action in it, I would still just think of that as a crime drama.
Yeah, it's a crime heist movie, but yeah, it's got its action. It's got a big shootout.
The Crow.
Yeah.
It's fine, but I definitely feel like it's an overrated movie.
I like The Crow a lot, but yeah, it's not as like if Brandon Lee didn't get killed during it, I don't think it would have the same level of legend that it has.
Blade. Oh, I love me Blade.
Oh, fuck, Blade is 90s. That's like, what, 98, 99?
Yeah, fuck, The Matrix.
Oh, yeah, shit.
That might be the other one that obviously contends with T2. Leon the Professional, I fucking love that movie. Dressed up as him, shooting you as Leia. Yeah, Demolition Man. Desperado. Lots of good ones.
Yeah. Fuck, even the second half of, like, From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah, see, that one, that's just, I still would put that just horror, but, like, yeah, there's definitely action. Could you put the TMNT movies? as action.
I don't see why not.
Yeah.
I'm still going T2, but yeah, I mean, like fucking T2 and fucking The Matrix sandwiching that decade, ridiculous.
It's great, yeah. May have better action movie. Well, you know what? I'm going to say it has better action movie than the 80s. That's the one area where 90s cinema beats 80s cinema.
It's tough to argue that, but man, there are a lot of good ones in the 80s though too.
80s has plenty. Oh, it's not saying bad, but I'm just saying maybe without doing research, 90s is better.
Damn.
I love that question now.
Yep.
I love it.
And last up from Colin Wysong, did you guys see the tweet from the man that got all 1 to 999 numbered tickets at Wawa? Would there be any brand to drive you to a stunt like this? So, Brad, did you see that post? So
No.
you know how when you order a sandwich from Wawa, you get a 3-digit code for your order?
Yes.
So some brave soul out there, some king of kings, really, man named Tyler, goes by at Zeldas73021 on Twitter, or X, the everything app. Yeah. So he has tickets for orders with every single number code from 1 to 999 from Wawa. Every possible one.
Okay. So I hear that, and I'm like, there is a part of me, you know me, I do have a sick obsession with completion things. I wonder if he just like, number one, you're probably one of the weirdos where I actually have a few people I know who save receipts from everything still, paper receipts.
Oh, no. I save more than I should. Like, I recently had to trade in my old car for a new one, and as we're cleaning it out, my wife just started yelling at me, like, why do you have so many fucking receipts in here? Like, half of them don't even have ink on them anymore. It's just a piece of paper at this point. And I'm just sitting there going, uh-oh. But I'm not doing it out of, like, collecting. I just do it out of laziness. Like, I like to collect, like, I'm sad that we don't get actual concert tickets anymore because I saved almost all of my old concert tickets. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, receipts, that's next level. My fucking parents still have doctor's receipts from the 70s, just in case.
It's hereditary, Jim.
I know.
But so, like, here's the deal. Okay, so my assumption is this is a guy that probably already had them. He probably had a decent amount and just was like, I already have all these numbers. Now, the only thing I would say would invalidate it is if he started purposely, like, getting multiple orders to get, like, a bunch in a row.
Does that really invalidate it, though?
It does. Just because the whole point of it is if you're already going to be ridiculous and go out of your way to do this, it's kind of like cheating the system. Like, if you were like, I want to complete a collection by only finding games in physical stores or even swap meets or something, but then you say, I'm just going to go on eBay and get the last 5. Like, it's you're using the warp zone. If you use the warp zone, it doesn't count.
Look, Brian, if the end goal is that hard, the warp zones are perfectly fine, all right? That fucking hammer bro on 8-4 justifies the warp zones. I don't give a shit what people say. And you know what? And actually, there's a flaw there because you just can't keep ordering things in a row unless you go at like 3 in the morning, and even then it's risky because there are multiple kiosks. And so if someone's putting in their order in another kiosk, that one could be in like the 900s, you're in the 200s, and it could be throwing everything the fuck off.
Yeah, here's my deal. I go to Wawa pretty damn often, and I usually get like just, even if it's just like iced coffees. So I'm trying to think, like, how long would it take someone to do this?
He said it took years. Years capitalized.
There's a part of me that would just laugh if they decide to like change their numbering system and like went to like 10,000. Like if they just like blew it out of the water. He's like, no, all my work.
Damn you. But then again,
but like you said, the receipts they wipe away, and I think those ones do as well. So other than the obvious why, like, what do you do when you have it all?
Put it in the shadow box, put it on a wall, and go, look what I've done. I had a goal and I went for it, and I got it, goddammit. I salute you, sir.
Oh, Jim. It's yeah, I guess cheers to you, bud. You did it. Like Jim with Tetris 99, it may have taken you a long time, but you did it. So
A lot of time and work for very little payoff, but god damn it, you got that payoff.
900. Wow. So 1,000 tickets basically, and I wonder how much he spent.
That is an
See,
investment.
that's the things. When I see something like this, I kind of want all the back stats too. Like, what was his most average order? How much did he spend? Like, I want other shit other than just.
You gotta
Here's a
imagine he
ticket.
just goes there and like gets like a coffee or something like that, and then puts it on
Yeah,
there.
but any psycho fuck that would go out of his way to do it, like, you probably should be recording other bits of info for this.
In theory, there's got to be something out
just
there.
saying.
There's got to be some system. I want to know if he had like a spreadsheet with him at all times with the missing numbers going, ooh, I got one.
Had to, right? Like, there's no way. I did that just to find the last Goosebump books, and I do that with my like horror movies and video games. So, yeah, I imagine he had a spreadsheet or something in his notes at a minimum.
Yeah, I'm definitely at that phase where, luckily, my collecting's gone way down anyway, just because I have everything mostly that I want and more than I even want. And yeah, like it's getting to the point where like I'll get something and be like, I don't think I have this, and I come home and go, God damn it, I do. Fuck. Goes in the doubles box for future selling.
Well, but to the question, is there anything I would do like that? No, there's no convenience store thing that I can really like. Like, I think to Jim's point, like, I had boxes of concert tickets and movie stub tickets for a while. I don't keep any of that shit anymore. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what would drive me to go to that extreme. But like, I would have said my Goosebumps collection, but it's already done. So I don't know.
Right, you can be the new Costco guy. Be a TikTok star.
I don't know what that means, Jim.
Eat the double chocolate chip cookie. Can't even fucking say it.
Say it again.
The double chunk chocolate cookie or something like that, I think.
No, just keep saying it.
And the
Say
big-
it 3 times fast.
No, I will not.
But yeah, I don't know. They're obviously, as gamers, and both of us do have our obsessions with collecting, as it's very apparent. I also like, even though I can't imagine something right now, I maybe something could draw me in, but to do something like tickets that I have to put out actual lots of money for, I doubt it. It's very doubtful.
Yeah, I have no idea what I would even attempt to do something like that. So, luckily, no. Thank God. Should I be the ghetto version and do it with like fucking Dunkin' Donuts receipts?
Are they numbered?
I don't think they're numbered like that. I couldn't tell you what to do with. I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm like, that's what I'm trying to think. Like,
Sheets? The sheets do it? Should I get Central PA and fucking all on my side? And asshole New York be the sheets people? It's actually more Maryland, I think. I think they're a big sheets town.
you know what would be interesting for you, Jim, since you go Dunkin' enough, is just get a single receipt for every item on their menu.
Actually, I almost never go to Dunkin' anymore because for a good year and a half, my driver's side door the window broke. So I just started taking coffee in to work with me. Instead of doing the awkward fucking opening the door through the drive-through. Ugh.
But Jim, we've established
Nah.
that is your character.
That is my character. Be a ton of times driving around with the family and being like, oh, let's do drive-through and make it easy. All right. Then going through the window and going, fuck, forgot. Opening the door being like, Tommy, my window's broken. Can I have my food, please?
Damn it. No, but thank you again for the question. We love it. Keep them coming, and make sure, if you are supporting us, get those questions in. We love them, and as you can tell, it doesn't always have to be about gaming or drinking. So thank you, guys.
Yep. Cheers, everybody.
All right, Chambers. So in something that seems to be a little bit of a hot topic, started on July 1st, There was a lot of back and forth. I actually dove a little bit deeper into this than normal, especially since I don't usually go on Twitter. So I'm very, very curious to first hear your take. But first, let the people know what's going on with what's her name, Elena Pierce. And
Alana Pierce, I don't know how you say it, but yeah. Well, it all started from a post by Kana Tanga at Thick Stick Boy. Elden Ring needs to be easier because I have kids. Do you think she's the type of chick to park in a handicap zone because she thinks having kids is a disability? And he proceeds to post a 26-second clip where basically she's sitting there frustrated about the lack of being able to pause when playing Elden Ring because she has kids and she'll have to stop to do it. And Elden Ring doesn't have a pause feature. Really, we'll get into that. But yeah, and she's just kind of venting her frustration to the tune of 39.2 million views on this post and a shitstorm of discourse for days on Twitter, or X, the everything app. So she went on to make a bit of a rebuttal, saying that having kids can be a quote-unquote situational disability where accessibility is concerned. If you need to pause a game because your kid is running around your living room but you can't, you'll have trouble playing games with no pause menu. Here's a bunch of info about it for anyone who's genuinely interested, and it's not just trying to rage bait LOL. To where she posts to a link to Userway, to an article about situational disabilities impact us all. Going down a rabbit hole of explaining, like, a lot of things where it's like, say you break your foot, but you want to run a race. Well, now you're situationally disabled from running that race. And it goes through a bunch of examples kind of like that. To the point where, everyone was putting their things in there. And then this guy named Steven Spoon, he's kind of Twitter famous. And he has a long post, but basically saying that this 6-second clip taken out of context of a nearly 18-minute video is Alana trying to help people who are not disabled understand and relate to people with disabilities. She said kids can suddenly interrupt your gameplay because they need you, the same way disability can suddenly flare up and make you stop playing. So a pause button would be really welcome, a completely benign request. These gotcha-style tweets and posts are a large part of why advocates suffer extremely high burnout rates, why you see so many familiar advocate names suddenly go silent. Weak-minded attention seekers who just want views pick apart every single thing you say constantly, just waiting for you to be tired or your game for one moment and say something can be twisted out of context. It doesn't matter if you raise hundreds of thousands of dollars to help disability causes or donate your time to charity. People like this are constantly out there just waiting for their 3 minutes on Twitter to feel superior off the back of being purposely obtuse and misconstruing an attempt to make a difficult and sensitive subject relatable to those without disabilities. The people who enjoy doing this kind of thing need to shut their bubbling fart volcano mouths and do something more productive with their time, like watching paint dry. Good night. I threw that good night in there.
He's a good writer. I'm gonna give him that.
Yeah, I think he got famous a couple years ago when Bryan Cranston was cast to play like a paralyzed guy in a movie, and he like started a big discourse about, well, why don't you just hire a disabled or a paralyzed actor for this role? And so that was how he started to get his Twitter fame out there.
Yeah, and I went into his thing, and he had won previously, like, an ambassador award for video games, and that's, like, yeah, he's very much into, what is it called, the accessibility in games, and is very heavily involved in that.
Yeah, which makes sense.
So, my initial thing, first of all, can we just agree on one thing, and I know you said we're going to touch on it? Video games, period, other than multiplayer online, should just have a pause button. And yes, I know you can hit the Sony home button or Xbox home button, but
right, if you go into the menu and if you go into the menus and you go down to menu descriptions and you go through like 3 things and you hit menu stoppage, well, there's your pause right there.
Yeah. So, like I said, just have a fucking pause button. Right?
Anyone using that excuse, shut the fuck up. Stop being these goddamn FromSoft dick suckers and just accept that a pause button would not impede you playing Elden Ring or any FromSoft game in any goddamn way at all. It literally will not change your gameplay experience. Just put a fucking pause button in the game. It doesn't matter.
That's so.
You're not suffering for the cause. You're not getting good by holding in a pee for a half hour to get to a fucking save point. Christ.
No. And here's the deal. That's why, like, this guy, the Kana Tanga or whatever, when he does the quotes as if she said it, like, Elden Ring needs to be easier because I have kids. It's like, number one, no one's talking about easier. Just have a fucking pause does not make a game easier. Period. Like, maybe if she said you should have save states and I want it easier, like, that would be a different argument. But
yeah, and we've already talked about that argument about people saying FromSoft games should have an easy mode. That's a completely different argument too.
Yeah, completely different. And then initially, like, so when you read this guy's, you're like, is she really saying having kids is a disability? And then, like everything, you go into context. And I followed the link down. There's a few other people who put up stuff, and they said, like, basically directly from Microsoft and other major companies, they have an example, and I'll put it up here, of like what inclusive designs look like. And like they give examples like permanent disabilities is like blind, deaf, nonverbal, one arm. Temporary are like you said, an arm injury, a cataract, an ear infection, breaking something. And then situational, they even have on there a new parent, distracted driver. That one I don't get. Bartender,
right?
And
the driver gamer Americans have been oppressed for too long.
Well, it's funny because then a bunch of people wrote like, yeah, well, you shouldn't be playing games while you're driving. They're like, no, this is just related to, like, if you're developing an app and you can't use it because you're driving, then you're situationally visually impaired with that app. And I'm like, that's where I'm like, I think that's...
It's too far. You're taking it too far.
You and I, that's where you and I... Well, and then on hearing, they're like, if you're a bartender... Speaking is heavy.
Can we please okay, look. I know people out there, like, there's the term, like, people trying to be the victim gets thrown around a lot, but a lot of these situational disabilities here, let's pick and choose here. All right, maybe make a new term, because a lot of these are also called inconveniences. Like, I work with
bartender. You're a fucking doing your job, so
right.
You shouldn't be worried about any type of game app. And they're using that to say if things are loud, you can't hear. I see that doesn't qualify. Distracted.
You're not disabled from doing your fucking job. You have to go,
yeah.
What?
Yeah,
it's not a fucking disability.
Driver, you know,
like epilepsy in a game, flashing lights in front of you. That's a disability.
Yeah.
Not being able to play, getting in a car accident because you played fucking Pokemon Go while driving is not a disability.
Yeah. And it's not even temporary. It's just, or situational. So, but then it did get me thinking, this idea of like, okay, they're listing being a new parent as a situational. It's just weird that even on these things, they put that as a situational disability. And I think you and I have the same problem with, like, calling it any term in front of disability.
I can't.
Yeah. So, well, I think this Chana Tanga is one of these, I'm so cool, I think I'm going to have a hard take and just be a shitty human. I imagine that's what most of his Twitter's like.
Yeah, I have no idea.
The disability part is the only part that bothers me with this in relation to being a parent and wanting to play a game. Now, unrelated to it, fucking have a pause button, period. Just, you don't even need to have a kid to need a pause button. Like Jim said, I want to take a piss. I need to get up. I need to do a million other things. Like,
I have pissed my pants playing Street Fighter 2 as an 8-year-old because I was playing with a 3-button Genesis controller and I was getting farther than I had ever gotten before. I was like on the bison fight and I was like, I can do it. And guess what? The piss started flowing because I was holding it in for like 45 fucking minutes. And I didn't have a goddamn pause button because the start button switched between punches and kicks.
Yeah. I mean, and you know what?
Is that a situational disability?
Well, that's just hilarious.
I'm a victim. I am now disabled.
I actually think you need
Thank you, Gaming Twitter. Thank you.
I think you need to recreate that whole thing, and we need to film it.
No.
Make you drink like 8 beers, give you the 3-button controller,
no.
and say you're not allowed to get up.
No.
But, yeah, from what I'm gathering, and, you know, I know nobody on this shit, Alana Pierce. She has actor, host, content creator, whatever. So she's in the industry, has a lot of followers. But one of the things she points to, and that's what a lot of people are saying, is like, you shouldn't use the word disability for this particular thing. And she's like, it's an industry-wide technical term that is just now applied. So she's just using the technical term that is already, it's not like she's making it up, but yeah, man, this is...
Just because it exists doesn't mean it's not fucking stupid.
That's my point, right?
That's
like how you play video games, even though it's in the game and you justify playing a shitty way. I'm like, that's not what the use of it is for, Jim. See what I did there? Go piss your pants.
Maybe I will, Brian. Maybe I will.
Jim's like, I came too fast. That was a situational disability.
Goddamn right it is.
I mean,
speaking of coming too fast, check out the Krusty Corner returning this week.
Damn it, Jim.
Right, you can enjoy Doom in a brand new way. Well worth that $1 over on Patreon.
So when you first saw this, though, did you feel like that Chanatanga dude is just another annoying online troll? Because of how he surmised the whole... I do get what she's saying. Like, just, hey, could we have a pause button? Regardless of the term disability or whatever, I put that aside. Like, it sounds like in principle you kind of agree with the general thought of it would be nice to have a pause button.
Yes, just put in a fucking pause button. It doesn't matter. Like, yeah. But, like, I didn't even watch the actual clip itself because I had already seen the discourse going, and I was like, God, I don't want to. Please don't make me have to go into this rabbit hole. But then I eventually watched...
26 seconds, you son of a bitch.
Well, I eventually did watch it, obviously. And, like, I was like, It's like, I literally went, yeah, I agree. There should be a pause button. But why are you calling this a disability? I don't care if it's a real term. Don't.
Yeah.
Let's use a little common sense. Please, for the love of God. And then there's going to be people who say, well, common sense is really common sense. Shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Be normal. Be normal. God damn it.
Jim, stop throwing out these ableist terms.
Fuck. I know.
Yeah. You know what? As with most things in society, this is one of those situations where the things that are listed in the very picture I'm probably showing as we're talking, I'm sorry, you can't use bartender, distracted driver, or parent and say situational
or you have a boo-boo. Stop.
Yeah. You can't. I'm sorry. Disability should mean something. Because then that's the same deal as like we all know somebody in our lives who has a completely bullshit handicap plate. And they're using it for reasons that's not what the intent of the handicap spot is for. And people bend those rules because of technical terms all the time. And you're like, are you serious?
Yeah. I'm sure people with cerebral palsy are going to look at people who, can't pause their game because their kid's crying and go, right on, brother. Fist in the sky. We are one.
So, yeah. But I also do think this whole, like, corny-ass...
But the gamers have to fucking ruin a very easy argument by just trying to be like, fucking get good, blah, 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 blah.
Well, yeah.
You shouldn't have to
From software gamers are some of... Man, they're annoying. They are...
Holy shit.
They're up there as far as annoyance. But yeah, also contextual. Like, I was ready to be annoyed like you when I first started reading it. I was like, oh my God, what the fuck is she talking about? And then I was like, you know what? Let me dive into it. I was like, okay, this guy's probably more the asshole because he made it seem like she was saying something. And yeah, that's why I'm in ignorant bliss when it comes to not being on Twitter, Jim.
Yep. Right, look at me. Look how happy I am at all times. This is what being informed on Twitter does to you. It just opens your mind to everything. It's perfect.
Well, Chambers, things could get worse. You could go to jail for carrying a goddamn replica Master Sword with you.
What the hell, Britain? This is
so terrible.
This is literally the, oi, you got a license for that knife? It's that meme. It's literally that meme.
So I have
They made it real.
Poor Anthony Bray, 48, from Nuneaton. Nuneaton? I don't even know how to say that.
Some godless UK hellhole, whatever it is.
He was sentenced to 4 months in prison after being found in possession of the replica Master Sword from Legend of Zelda. Now, here's the deal. The U.S. has rules for this too, and state by state it is different. And really what you have to do is measure the length of the blade. This one was 6 inches or over, which is the issue. If it had been shorter, he would have probably gotten off with whatever. But the blade comes with the sheath, and there's a little button that lets it kind of pop out. And his defense was he looked at it like a fidget, like it kind of just helps, I don't know, keep him relaxed or something to keep his hands busy. But I guess the other problem was he was just openly walking around with it in his hand, playing with it. And they list it as a weapon. So yeah, fucking 4 months.
Ratted out by Big Brother with their CCTVs all over the goddamn place in there.
I mean, oh my God. And when you look at the sword, I swear that's just a letter opener. Like that tip is pretty goddamn dull. Even though when you read up on like the police report, they're like, it's a bladed, it's a a tip that could hurt someone. Come on, man. Like,
this is the sprinkle a little crack on him of the UK.
Now, sure, does the guy look like maybe he might do something bad? Maybe. I'm not trying to judge a book by its cover. I'm just saying, yeah. If the
I see neck tattoos and I see playing with a knife, I go, I'm gonna walk to the other side of the street.
Yeah. I mean, fuck.
But like, I also know guys who are like knife guys. Like we all know knife guy, like pocket knife guys. Like that's their thing, and all they do is they sit around all day, flicking it out, putting it back in, flicking it out, putting it back in, with their fucking thumbs covered in scars from when they fuck up and accidentally slice themselves. And they go oopsie poopsie, and then they go back to flicking it out, flicking it back in. Like, if you've ever met a knife guy in your life, you will know that that's just what they do. So I can totally get the whole fidgety part of it.
I don't know if I've ever gone anywhere without a knife on me. And I play with it like now. I don't walk around with it in the open, but yeah, it's a thing. But
and I mean, if he's walking around just like unsheathing it with the button and sheathing it back in. Like, if the knife isn't even coming out, like, yeah, it's in the sheath, so it's sword-shaped, but it's a fucking Master Sword. Come on!
Without any knowledge of England and their prisons, like, what are you in for? Oh, I killed someone. What are you in for? I did this. What are you in for? Master Sword. Like, the fuck are we doing here? I mean, then again, with a place like that name, my guess is they don't got a lot of real shit going. Like, I think we're just too used to Philly and the type of shit we would see on a regular, and this would be completely laughed at. Whereas this is probably like the biggest offense they see all year. So, maybe that's part of the problem. They have a population of 88,000 people, Jim.
88,000 people, and now the hero of time is locked away for 4 months. Do you know the damage Ganon can do in that amount of time, Brian?
Oh, Jim. This sounds like something you would actually get busted for. Some innocuous bullshit like this.
Something that stupid, yeah.
Guys, I just wanted to play with my fidget.
Sir, you can't masturbate in public. I am playing Doom! Watch the Krusty Corner.
Don't you talk about my situational disability.
That's what he should have said. He should have claimed that. Ableism and racism against his
technically, he has a temporary disability because he's incarcerated. So that's a temporary.
Yeah. Now he can't do any of the things he loves.
Anyone out there? So anyone out there, collectors, whatever, wherever you are, what I will say is know your blade laws, especially if you're in England. Be careful because apparently they're just looking for shit to go after you on. Yeah, just be careful out there, guys. Don't get busted with the Master Sword. Or just don't carry it openly too. Maybe that. Maybe. I don't know.
Oh
You tell me,
God.
Jim.
And, between this and like the gun blade from a couple months ago, and just fuck.
Lives have been saved, Jim. Lives have been saved.
Can we just go back to like cops putting like a box cutter and like one small baggie of weed on a table and having the whole precinct standing around it? At least that's a little less embarrassing. It's still incredibly embarrassing, but it's a little less embarrassing.
But Jim, let's turn this on a dime. Let's talk something I'm sure you got a boner for, and something that sounds actually kind of cool. Tell me about the Super Sega.
Well, Bri, a team of Spanish Sega fans are looking to build custom SC3000, SG1000, Saturn, and Dreamcast games. Quick side note, go on Facebook and search Mega Drive and see what comes up. That'll pretty much settle the argument in the debate between Mega Drive versus Genesis. Just go ahead and do it. Have some fun. But moving back to this. So the Super Mega will use a Vertex Ultrascale FPGA chip to replicate the performance of these systems as accurately as possible. It will also feature Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connectivity as well as an SD card slot. The optical drive will be a CD-DVD writer contained within a transparent bay within the console's unusual bodywork. 8 joystick ports will be included, allowing Sega fans to use their original controllers, and there will also be USB ports. I mean, this is a hell of a looking contraption right here.
Yeah, and that looks like it would take up a lot of space. And I know the picture I'm showing, it's just like a quick little like rendering or drawing.
That's got to be like a PlayStation 5.5 long to be able to like hold that much shit and have that many cartridge slots and all.
Yeah. Obviously, it's safe to say that there's a lot of skepticism as to will this ever work? Will this ever happen? Yada, yada, yada.
Spoiler, it will never play anything.
But here's the deal. See, this is something I could get behind. Like, kind of the same way I felt about the, what the fuck was it called?
Buy Mega?
What was the system with... Yeah, was that it? Where you can buy all the, like, extra modules and... Yeah. Like, I like this idea, like, kind of an all-in-one. I'll be honest, I don't know what the fuck a SC3000 or SG1000 are. Or is it computers?
Yeah, like the SG1000 was like the original Sega console. Like super early, like 1980 it came out. Like along the same times as like the ColecoVision, basically.
Don't give two fucks about the Master System. And nothing will ever change my mind on that.
It's a good system. Good little system.
But the Saturn and Dreamcast having that kind of together, like, that's interesting. The SD card reader, that's the one I'm kind of like. So do you think you can just have the ROMs for shit and then it would emulate on all those?
Probably.
Yeah. So, all right.
I mean, you can have it there for firmware updates and shit like that, but someone's gonna make it where they can just dump all the games on there.
So first, make some bets. Does this ever happen?
I'm at like a 2082. It'll happen to it won't happen, because the Spaniards and especially the Brazilians, they love their Sega. So that's like, if there's going to be any section of the world to do it, it would be that one. But you're asking a fucking lot. And then it's going to turn out to be like, will it work? And what's the price going to be? And like, how are you going to cram? Well, I think that was my technology-wise, you can cram all that shit like onto a board. I think we're getting to the point where it's like not going to be all that hard to do. You just need something that can read a ROM off your original hardware just to make that part of it work. But like, I can also see them eventually just being like, oh, here's a RetroPie with the original controller ports and a bunch of USB ports for Sega-centric. I don't know.
So what do you think something like this, say they get it, it's working, what are they selling it for?
It's got to be like at least $400, you would think, to have like a DVD reader-writer? And like in this day and age, and to have all those cartridge slots and all that technology thrown together for it? Like, you got a lot of shit crammed in there.
Well, let's see. The base Poly Mega.
And you know it's going to be like HDMI out. So like if you even look at like a retro AVS, which only does the NES, that's like $175 system. So if you're going to have something that can do like 10 systems, including disk drive, like it's got to be at least $400 or $500, you would think.
So base Poly Mega is $549 plus wireless controller. And that is the CD-based one, so PS1, Saturn, SCD, MCD, PCE, CD, and TurboGrafx CD. So that's just CD-based shit. And then... modules. For their Mega Module, which is Genesis, Mega Drive, that's in $79. So, yeah, I mean, to your point, $400 would be kind of like potentially the cheapest, I would imagine.
I mean, the Poly Mega is an
If it
overpriced hunk
really
of
works.
shit anyway, but like, even that, you're looking at that price point, and it's like, how can this not be any less expensive than that?
Yeah. Hey, you know what? If a guy can collect 1,000 goddamn receipts from Wawa, then you know what? Somebody can go ahead and try to make this work. Because I'm all for it. This is the type of shit. Just, guys, for the love of fuck, if they start a crowdfunding thing, you know how this has worked out for almost all these fucking console things. Just, it's not, just, if you go into it with low expectations and don't dump like your life savings into it. Don't do all this shit. We don't need another fucking 20 million channels popping up that's like, oh man, the Super Sega is the next best thing. And oh my God, the downfall of the Super Sega. Like, we don't need to see that again.
Right, we need a new Amico. The same way we need the new Coleco Chameleon. We need it. Feed the beast. Feed the algo.
Is there any part of you that would even consider getting this?
I mean, it's pretty cool, but it's something I completely don't need. So, probably not.
But you could have your Saturn now, and you could have the ability to do Master System, SC3000s, SG1000 games.
Yeah, but I could also just eventually get a Pi and not have to buy another fucking console's worth of games to do it.
But Jim, then you're not doing it off the original.
Whatever. I don't care anymore. Look where it's gotten me. Look at what I am. I don't fucking care anymore.
But Jim, you're rich in love.
I have that.
The
at
sip
least.
says it all.
I got love.
Oh, fuck. Well, good luck. Godspeed. I want shit like that being created. Here's the deal, though. Can Sega or any of these type of companies, can they sue for doing shit like that? Or is it really just the ROMs that are always the issue?
The ROMs always becomes the biggest issue. They can maybe try to do something to fuck around with it, but I think patents for hardware only last so long. So I think most of these are probably not open source, but I forget what the terminology is.
Okay. We'll see. But Chambers, we've covered a lot of weird gaming items on here, especially you. This one, it's a weird item. It's goofy. Tell us about probably the most expensive Wii ever made.
Right, we are heading back to the lovely UK. So, back when the Wii was in its prime, THQ sent arguably the biggest family in the world a 24K or 24-karat gold-plated Nintendo Wii as a marketing stunt to promote their new game, Big Family Games. Wow. Of all the games to promote, Big Family Games in the Wii. So they sent a 24-karat gold-plated Wii to the royal family. And, yeah, it was sent to Buckingham Palace, but never made it past the gates, and subsequently became, quote-unquote, lost, which, as we all know from witnessing gaming employees suddenly discovering lost copies of not-for-resale games in mint condition, it was probably taken by a collector. So it was put up for sale for $3,000, which, for the first time in history, is going to be available to check out in person. It'll be shown off at the Ultimate Console Database Console Variations. It's heading to Cologne for the biggest gaming festival, Gamescom 2024, this August. So yeah, if you're in the UK and you can go to Gamescom 2024, you can check out a 24 karat gold weed that was supposed to go to the royal family for big fucking party games. Wow.
So, okay, so it was made with 24 karat gold.
Right. Why do you think THQ closed up?
Terrible decisions like this. All right, so somebody had this and then put it up for sale for 3,000. Like 3,000 actually seems shockingly low if that is true 24 karat gold. Just on the gold value
for real.
alone. But no, like, so there's the gold value and then just the fact that it was like, you can always make the argument, yeah, it was in Buckingham Palace. It was for the Queen. It's a true one of a kind. Like, to see what other things have gone for a price, like, I feel like that is shockingly low.
Yeah, no, I agree. Especially for what it was meant to be, and like you said, all the gold. Like, that should be way higher.
I mean, obviously a terrible idea, but then again, could you imagine the press they would have got if for some reason the Queen's like, let's see what this is about, and they decided to fucking play Big Family? Like, it was obviously a stupid gamble, but honestly to them, all the cost is just in getting in 24 karat gold. So
yeah. Besides that, it's just a fucking Wii.
Yeah.
So for all of our lovely Britbongs out there, just remember to keep your Master Swords at home, and you have a chance to check out a completely unnecessary gaming device.
I'm really curious. Seeing something like this, like, it would really make me interested to know, like, other very, like, just singular one-off things that were sent to, like, leaders. Like, I wonder if, like, presidents of the U.S. were ever sent, like, a one-of-a-kind console or something to that effect, or how that would work.
You have to imagine it's happened a few times.
Yeah. I don't know. That's so fucking weird. But, Jim, if you saw that for some reason and it was only at 3,000, you'd have to buy it.
Oh, of course I'd be a sucker not to.
Did you ever play Big Family games?
No!
You played a lot of dumb shit on the Wii. Don't act like that was a weird question, especially for you.
I've played some bad shit on the Wii.
You sucked off the Wii more than most, so don't even act like...
It's a fun little system. But, no, Brian, I've not played Big Family games.
Well, fucking get on it. God, that's why you're not in Buckingham Palace.
Obviously not.
Such a dick.
If I can't fall out of the right hole, I guess I got to play the right games. Shit.
Jim, all I'm going to say is, watch your tone with me, or I'll have to come over there with a hammer.
With honor? Get me with honor, Brian? Make up for dishonor?
I have the picture up as we're talking right now of Edward Kang. Tell the people, what does this young man do?
Well, a man took a flight to another state to attack...
Why does his shirt have fucking 2X all over it? What is that even about? There's so many questions I have. Fuck.
Is it bad? Okay, it is bad. I didn't even notice the 2X's at all.
It's handwritten all over his goddamn shirt. Like
that is quite the look.
Fuck.
And it wasn't like they did it in a mirror or while I was on there. The penmanship's great. Obviously done while the shirt was off. There's a reason for it. But a man took flight to another state to attack his online rival with a hammer. According to the Nassau County Sheriff's Office, 20-year-old Edward Kang was arrested after he took an overnight flight from Newark Liberty International Airport in New Jersey to Jacksonville International Airport in Florida to attack his rival. This is a weird one, says the Sheriff Bill Leeper. Some things make you say, So yeah, apparently Kang booked a hotel room before he showed up at the house at 2 a.m. on a Sunday. He told the mother that he was going to visit a friend in Florida after he allegedly became angry at the victim while playing the multiplayer online game Archage?
Yeah, I don't even know what the fuck that game is.
Archage? What the... So yeah.
I'm just going to say it's Archage.
Yeah, I'll go with that. checked into his hotel at 2 a.m. Friday, went to Ace Hardware the next day to pick up a hammer and a flashlight. So in the early morning, he snuck into the house and started attacking the guy. Until, the guy's stepfather was awakened by screams for help and held him until they came there. So yeah, apparently he got a lot of nice severe head wounds in on the guy, but nothing life-threatening. And yeah, Kang was not cooperating with police. Shocker. So when the suspect was asked why he did what he did, the suspect said that he is a bad person online, talking about the victim. In addition, the suspect asked our deputy, how much time in jail do you get for breaking and entering an assault? And Sheriff Leeper said during the news conference, I would say to Mr. Kang, it's going to be a long time before you play video games again.
Jim, do you think his cousin is Lou?
He wishes. Wouldn't have needed a goddamn hammer if he was.
Okay, so first off, let me just say, UK, this is why you arrest people. Not for fucking Master Swords that are replicas. This is a real issue. Boy, oh boy. So the thing I was trying to look up is, we know he took a flight out of Jersey, but I don't know if he's from Jersey. But like,
I'll say yes because it sounds like a very New Jersey thing to do.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, when I first
Especially
saw things
Newark.
when I first saw
Rough
things
town.
about Florida, I was like, oh, of course it happened in Florida. And then when I saw he's coming from Jersey, I said, of course it happened from a guy coming from Jersey. But
Right. Have you ever listened to Paraman 5000?
Yes.
Then you know.
I'm just saying. But so here's the deal. Read this. Kid's obviously fucking insane. That's nuts. But should people stop talking so much shit that he can't back up?
You know what? We say it a lot. A lot of people online, they get snippy. And you go, if you want to say that to someone's face, well, guess what? The face is here, and the face has a hammer.
Was this not foretold in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back?
He had the money for the plane flight, so obviously.
I mean,
you have to at least appreciate the gumption and the commitment to the bit.
Well, that's my thing is like, god damn, like you and I are notorious. We both get our gamer rage for sure, and I can hold a pretty decent grudge. I can't hold it for like I can hold a gamer grudge where I'll come back to somebody next day and still like talk shit to whatever the case is.
Still be Xbox Live messaging.
But to book a flight, take that like think about like he's like at the airport like, well, you're gonna get some Chicky and Pete's, gonna get some Annie Ann's, like I'm gonna chill, like, oh man, I gotta worry about a flight, maybe I'm nervous flight, all the shit that he has to go through, fucking lands, checking a hotel. How was
I remember
your
my
flight?
neck pillow. Shit, I don't have my neck pillow. God, I'm so agitated. It's
like
just making
all
it worse.
the little things, and then he's like, I gotta go to a store, gotta get a weapon, fucking gets like. There are so many fucking layers to that, and to stick with it, that's dedication. That's all I'm gonna say.
And he went blunt force. This guy went hammer. That is some hatred right there.
I mean, and he went with the carpenter's hammer, and that's a pretty. So and he got a flashlight. And here's the deal: what I didn't figure out is, how did he know the guy's address? Like, here's the deal. Here's the problem I have is you see these things online where people all the time like, yeah, come find me, I'm here. Like, you give out your address. This is number one why you never ever give out your fucking address, because you don't know what type of crazy assholes will fly and come meet you. But yeah, what level of rage? I'm just dying to know, like, what this guy did to really piss this other guy off.
I would love to know. I need to see these logs.
Like, Like,
everyone wants to see Nick Recada's police tape body cam. I want to see the messages from this that made this happen. That's what I want to see.
I really do. Like, okay, we can accept Edward Kang. He's not mentally stable. He writes 2X on his shirt.
How do you say that, bro?
Something tells me, Jim.
Give it away.
Maybe there was no pause. I don't know. You tell me. But
Brian's a boy for context clues.
But it's dedication. But it does go back to what I've said before, Jim. You know, you know me of all of our friends. I do have a problem with people who just run their mouth, who clearly think there are no consequences in this world. Maybe it's a little wake-up call for some people. Not saying it's justified. I will never say that. I'm just saying maybe don't run your mouth too bad. I don't know. Did they even say how old was the guy he beat the shit out of?
It doesn't say.
Yeah. Like, there's so much I want to know. Like, what the fuck? Number one, what the fuck is the game? Archmage? Or Archage? Like,
Yeah, what is this game? Is it some like weirdo MMO?
It's no longer serviced in Europe and North America as of June 27th. I wonder.
Well, no wonder he's fucking mad.
I wonder if they shut down because of it.
Yeah, some MMORPG. Wow, it's been out for over 10 years. No shit.
Oh shit, yeah. Wow. Especially a game like that, man. I think like.
You did attempted murder over a game that's not going to be around anymore?
Jim,
right.
All right.
Maybe it's the LARPing. Maybe that's a 2X. Maybe it's 2 damage. Maybe he just got sick of him yelling 2 damage at him.
Jim, here's the question. You've done a lot of gaming, and I know you can be. It usually depends on how drunk you are. You can tend to run your mouth a good amount, as we saw with Tetris 99. What game do you think probably you could have caught an ass whooping for how much shit talk you did back in the day, or ever? Not saying it's deserved, but if there was one game you probably know you would talk a little more shit than normal, which game do you think it would be?
I don't know, because I've never been that great at most games, and especially like any online game. Like I can't think of one that I've been really good at. Like,
did you ever do like public mics on any online games?
Yeah, I've done it before in Call of Duty, but I like never got that into it with anyone on there.
Yeah, you weren't good at that game, so you were okay at Black Ops. I'll give
the original
you that.
Black Ops, that was my peak.
I mean, you use the strongest guns, but yeah, I mean, but no, I'm trying to think, like, even with your friends, let's say, like when you met us, like you introduced us to in the fucking lobby, like the Halo, and you that's why you ended up getting plenty of ball taps because of how you played that game and how you talk shit.
Yeah, Halo. Maybe it'd be like Street Fighter 2 with my buddies because I get my dick kicked in online with that shit.
Did you ever go to an arcade and like you ran an arcade with a particular game?
Right. I wasn't allowed to leave my house as a child. You don't know this. That's why I'm the well-adjusted individual I am today. But goddamn, did I know that history book? Oh boy, did I know that history book.
And it served you so well.
Word for word.
Damn. Yeah. You know me.
It certainly wasn't sports I was shit talking in.
Why not, Jim?
Skill issue. Can leave it at that.
Yeah, see, here's the deal. I do not... I never initiate shit talking. But if you start with me... It's like with everything else with me. Like, I won't start the thing with you, but if you start with me, I take it to a unreasonable level.
Yes, I've seen you chase teenagers in laser tag. I've seen this happen.
See, those fuckers should have known. Don't talk shit. Yeah, like I said, the closest would be those with the UFC games I played for a while, but it would be guys talking shit. And I said the best example I can give is like I was playing as Lyoto Machida, playing against a dude I was playing as Rashad Evans. It was right before their fight. So the dude's talking mad shit. Like, yeah, he's going to get knocked out, da-da-da-da. And as Lyoto Machida, I knocked him out in the game. And dude was talking mad shit. He, like, disconnected when he did that. So then that weekend when Lyoto Machida actually did that to Rashad, I went on Xbox and sent him a message. I was like, see, your boy got fucked up like you did.
I'm torn.
So, yeah.
Is it petty? Yes. Is that hilarious? Also, yes.
Yeah. I mean, come on. I said, if he had never said one word to me, I would never do that. But if you start with me, well, then you open Pandora's box. It's no good.
Got him.
Jim, what if you found the guy who stole your 3DS? Do you get the hammer? Do you get the hotel room?
Yes. Worse. I'm Ed Gaining that fucker. I'm wearing his skin.
What game?
His nipples would be my sleep mask.
Is there any game do you think that could get you that mad this day and age? I mean, you're already such an angry boy all the time.
I am. I don't know. I don't know anymore if a game gets me that angry. Because at this point, if a game does get me that angry, like, you know, the last time I got really, really like unhealthily angry, it was a mobile version of Yu-Gi-Oh. And like there would be games where like I would just get. I eventually just like I had a breaking point. I was like, if I don't delete this app right now, it's gonna be very, very bad. And I just had to like have that calming moment. I'm like, stop. Do it. Don't break your $1,200 phone. Just fucking delete the app and just never touch it again. And that's what Jimmy did.
Oh, that you know what? That's a very. I'll drink to a very responsible Chambers on that one.
Rare occasion.
Well, Chambers, how'd those watermelon beers treat you? Were they as good as in the pool?
Dude, I love this goddamn beer. This is honestly like climbing the charts to be one of my favorites, I think. Like, hopefully it being clearance doesn't make it, what do you call it, you know, a failure and go away. But that's always the risk. But nah, this is so goddamn good. Like, I really enjoy it.
Nice. Yeah, as I said, the Bomb Pop, man, it's weird. Like, I really enjoy it, but every sip, it's like the sour is really potent. Still, it's delicious. I would highly recommend it. As I said before, I don't think there's anything from Ship Bottom I've ever had that I didn't really enjoy. So yeah, it's always a good time with these guys. But with that, everyone, we want to say thank you all so much for listening, for watching. If you are watching on YouTube, make sure you hit the notification bell, hit subscribe. We truly appreciate any support, comments, or likes on these videos. And if you're listening on iTunes or Spotify, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And if you give us a 5-star rating, even if you want to bash us in the comments, we're going to read them on each and every one of these Power Hour podcasts. With that, we want to say have a good night, everyone. Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.